You know, do you ever read in the newspaper or the magazine? Sometimes it isn't even a jazz magazine, and there's a big headline that says, "Jazz is dead." I hate that. You know, it's always bugged me. And some journalists thought it would sell magazines, you know, back. It actually was supposedly coined by a guy named Joachim Ernst Behrendt in Germany. And, you know, look, anyone who's been here the last few days, you know, jazz is alive and well on this stage, not only with these fabulous musicians, but with all the young players that are here. So there's no problem, you know, with jazz being dead. So let's hear a round of applause for jazz. And many of these, you know, incredible musicians on the stage in the Army Blues are educators at universities, places like George Mason and Towson State, and you know, you name it, I'm at Rutgers. And you know, the thing we realize, especially, you know, we're doing workshops and master classes all the time, and the reason is, you know, of course that we love improvisation. I think improvisation is one of the most important single character, you know, or characteristics of who we are as Americans. You know, when you think about it, I mean, George Washington was an improviser. Abraham Lincoln was an improviser. I mean, talk about Thomas Edison and Henry Ford and Martin Luther King. We're a nation of improvisers. And, you know, you're going to go from here and go back to your towns with your school districts, and unfortunately with the sequester and everything else, you know, budgets are cut. Budgets are cut in the state level, at the federal level, everywhere, municipal level, in schools. So what's one of the first things to go is music and jazz. They say, well, we have reading, writing, you know, the 3 R's, arithmetic, what's the 4th R? We don't know. But the point is, why do we need jazz? And what I say is what we're trying to do with this music is create improvisers for life. Everybody who plays jazz is an improviser. That's the fabric of what jazz music is. And I was thinking about it, and you know, let's imagine, so we have this all these young improvising musicians in schools all around. And let's say that I'm on the operating table and something goes terribly wrong. And my doctor was a jazz tenor player in his high school band. You see, and he knows how to improvise. So then what happens? You know, we all have a better chance, you know, of survival. So what you have to do is when you go back to tell people about why jazz is important, you say, it's important to the survival of the human race, is jazz improvisation. And I really feel strongly. But let's hear a big round of applause for the Army Blues and the director of Chief. Take a bow, guys. We'll have bow drills right after the gig, okay? And, you know, when you hear a brass player or a trombone player giving a little speech like I did, we think it's because it's an important topic that I'm trying to relay to you. But Clark Terry taught me that the best way to get blood back in your chops after you play a ballad is to talk to the audience. So I'm actually just taking a page out of his book, but really, you know, please continue to support the music and young kids. And